1972, a crack commando unit was sent to prison by a military court for a crime they didn't commit. These men promptly escaped from a maximum security stockade to the Los Angeles underground. Today, still wanted by the government, they survive as soldiers of fortune. If you have a problem, if no one else can help, and if you can find them, maybe you can hire the A-Team.
And then again, maybe you can't. Maybe you can't afford the A-Team.
Well, I'm in a bad mood today.
Great, because I am too.
Because that'll make for sterling radio. We're both in a... One of us is supposed to be the voice of reason.
It has to be you. I get precedent. This is just my default position.
Well, I'm in a bad mood too. So let's talk about what's putting us in a bad mood today. Now we'll have to brighten the mood because Al Bedrosian will be here for the second half of the show.
Oh no! Let's just bring Al into this horror show.
Well, I have questions for Al about the Chick-fil-A decision, and I want to know because the Roanoke Times, when they wrote the article,
didn't say who voted for what.
It was one of the worst piece of journalism. I mean, not that I expect much from the Roanoke Times from a journalistic perspective, but it was one of the most ridiculously bad pieces of local journalism you'll ever read. They didn't say who voted for what. The only person that you would know how they voted for on the Chick-fil-A decision was Al.
My guess is that's because they thought Al's vote was hurtful to Al politically, and they wanted to make sure everybody knew how he voted.
But they didn't say anybody else because there was two other people that voted with him. So and I don't know who voted for it or who voted against it. I just don't know.
They probably don't hate those people.
If I wasn't lazy, I could go on the Roanoke County website and probably figure it out. But I'm lazy, so I didn't look. But I'm not lazy now. I did go out to the site. I did look at the site. I used to live 5 minutes from where the proposed site was, and I'm pretty familiar with the area. I'm kind of questions about the safety issue that seems to have derailed the Chick-fil-A.
This would have been much better if you had not let Al know you're going to ask him about it by talking about it now, and just asked him later on. Now he's got a half an hour to prepare.
I'm not going to jump on Al Bedrosian and give him an unfair advantage. It's fine. It's cool.
No. There's no advantage. That's not the point. He's already made the vote. He should be prepared to justify it on a moment's notice.
And I believe that Al is does his best to be a good public servant. So
I know he does. I can just see him out there doing mental calisthenics, getting ready for you.
That's okay. I'm not gonna beat him up. I don't understand it.
The frontal lobe is doing push-ups.
Maybe he'll explain it to me in a way because there's certain things that happened in the world in the world of news over the last 24 to 48 hours that I don't understand, and there's no amount of talking that can make me understand them. Now, Greg is a frustrated pre-law student, according to Senator John Edwards. So, what was your perception of because you have a little bit of a different take. There's a lot of joy in Mudville and what conservatives around the decisions that were made yesterday, and you're a cold, wet blanket on the joy everybody seems to be feeling about these Supreme Court decisions.
I'm sorry, but the reality of this situation is that this is another case of black is white and the world is upside down. Because our Supreme Court justices, the only five that even remotely seem to have one toe in understanding of religious freedom, didn't rule that government can't force people to pay for other people's abortions against their will. They didn't even rule that employers with a religious conviction against it cannot be forced against their will by the government not to pay for people's abortions. All they said is that in this specific case, under these certain circumstances, with this particular type of these types of people with that kind of religious belief, well, basically they issued a ruling that would allow them essentially to let Hobby Lobby win their case, but not put anything on the record in standing that would protect our religious rights in this area whatsoever. That's what really happened. We lost. Hobby Lobby won, and religious freedom took another hit. And that's just the fact of the matter. And to make it worse, Ginsburg in her dissension, lies to everybody. She tells everybody the exact opposite. It's the end of the world. You know, her whole... I can't even talk about it. But I want to smack her. I want to smack all 9 of them. I want to smack all 9 of those people. Because not one of them did their job. Not one of them stood up for the Constitution. Not one of them protected our rights. The Supreme Court has become as political as the Congress and the presidency.
Well, it's really a really simple matter. It's really quite simple. Should you be forced to pay for someone else's abortion and birth control? And if you are forced to do it, whose rights are being infringed?
And we didn't get an answer to that yesterday.
Because, I mean, no one's saying that you can't go out and buy a 30-day supply of birth control pills.
Birth control pills were not.
I understand.
They're not even on the list.
But everybody's talking about But
they're talking about it because we're being lied to.
But no one. Not only was that part of the decision, no one is saying let's ban birth control pills. The only thing it's saying is why should I be paying for your abortions or birth control or any other preventive? Why should I be forced to pay for your stuff? Why?
They didn't even say they were banning abortion.
I know.
They didn't even say that. But that's what, I mean, Tim Kaine.
Yes.
No wonder there's nothing but strife and anger and fighting amongst people. Our leaders are lying to us. Tim Kaine yesterday said, I cannot understand how a majority of SCOTUS can say that an employer for religious reasons may deprive employees of health care coverage for contraception. That's not what they said. That's not in the judgment, Tim. You're a bald-faced liar. He says it makes the case less about religious freedom and more about denial of access to contraception. The Supreme Court did not uphold any rule or law or even create one that said, we are cutting off your access to anything. They didn't tell you couldn't have it. They didn't tell you that you couldn't talk somebody into buying it for you. They didn't tell you couldn't buy it for yourself. This is just blatantly not true. But what the government did tell us is that we can't make our own health care choices.
Yeah.
After we were told that if we liked our insurance, we could keep it, we were canceled.
But this is like a hypothetical situation.
And I wasn't asking my employer to pay for my health care situation. I wasn't asking for the government to pay for my health care insurance.
This isn't just a hypothetical situation. This is your situation.
Yes, this is. There was no. In the Hobby Lobby case, the whole thing is whether the government can make somebody pay for it. And on the left this morning, they're losing their minds as if their choice has been taken away. No, you still have the choice. But I don't have the choice. I'm a real case of choice being taken away. And I don't know if you're too stupid, or if you're too blind, or if you're too hate-filled, or you're too ignorant, or if you just don't care enough to understand the truth. But you could not be more wrong. And Tim Kaine could not be any more a liar. I talked to people yesterday who actually are being told, they believed that what the Supreme Court said is they can't have contraceptive insurance at all. They just can't have it. No, that's what I got screwed with. Yes, I can't have the health care insurance that I had. But no, you can still have all of these things. You just can't make the Hobby Lobby owners pay for it for you. That's all. You can probably get almost every other employer in the entire country to pay for it for you, except them. I'm not sure how we even solve an issue or come to a resolution of a problem when most of the people
are arguing and don't even get to the point of it.
They're arguing about something they don't even know what's going on because they were lied to. They believe Tim Kaine when he says this is about depriving people of access to contraception.
Well, I showed you a tweet that I got the other day. It was a picture. It's from a liberal friend of mine. And her name is Sarah Baker, and the quote and the meme has a picture of a fetus. This is person. It has a picture of a building, which I mean corporations are a person, and it has a picture of a woman. This is meh, and it's all you're not a person because you don't have any rights. You know, the question isn't your right to have abortion. The question is, why do you have to make me pay for your abortion? It's a pretty simple question. But no one seems to, everybody on both sides skirts around the issue. The left makes it into women are being oppressed. Let's vote for me for Congress. And the other side makes it, we had a big win for religious freedom. We need to vote for our local Republican to get more religious freedom that you didn't really get. And there you go.
No, we didn't get it. Once again, is it deceit or idiocy?
A little of both.
What is it? Because if we don't figure out what it is, we can't fix it.
If you don't understand what your rights are and where your rights come from, if you don't understand those basic principles, then it's really easy to lie to you.
They don't care.
Well, I understand.
They just don't care. All they care about is in every single one of these instances just getting their way.
Well, but
they don't care about actual rights.
Well, of course they don't, but the people should. But the people are too dumbed down to understand it. So it's kind of like if you can't do basic math, when somebody presents you with a budget issue, you're just going to be, I guess you're right. Okay. If you can do some math, then when somebody sends you a BS-y kind of budget thing, then it makes sense. If somebody sends you, if you don't have any background in basic science, when somebody talks about global warming, well, it all makes sense that, a little bit of extra CO2 is going to cause the world to come to a crashing halt. If you don't have a well-educated society, you're gullible, and if you'll fall for anything. And that's what's happening in society today. Simple as that.
This is what Valerie Garner said to me yesterday. What women do or don't do regarding their reproductive rights is totally up to them and unfair for anyone to dictate to us. We are not second-class citizens. Don't tread on me, Greg Aldridge. When did Greg Aldridge tell Valerie she couldn't go get an abortion?
Yeah, go.
The Supreme Court didn't say that either. What I'm saying is...
Why should I pay for it?
Yes, it's my liberty that's being
Wow.
What is wrong with you people?
I think you should take a break before you break your microphone.
We'll be back.
This is Adrian Cronauer, the guy Robin Williams played on the movie Good Morning Vietnam. I just want you to know I always tune in to the News Guardian right here on Fox Radio 910.
News Guardians on Fox Radio 910.
And we're back. Got a message from Joanne.
What did Joanne have to say?
Joanne said, Greg, please don't have a stroke.
I'm glad you're because I was afraid that your intense anger didn't really translate across the radio, so I'm glad that...
I think...
Because you had to... I wish there was a camera running right now to show the audience the visual of you, like, shaking your microphone while you screamed into it. It was quite... I had a moment like that yesterday.
Over what?
Over the whole... I've got a number of... in my journey in the liberty movement, we were kind of early. We were early adopters of the sense that, we need to impeach the president. And people didn't really get it. There's a political solution. We can fix it, blah, blah, blah. All right. So one of those people posted, well, we just have to impeach the president. And I'm like, yeah, of course. But it seems to be more and more people are sort of picking up on that. Because, and I wrote an article yesterday, and it's you can find the links out there and on newsguardians.com. But
that's where we should be, the links.
Yeah. But in any event, basically Congress has two ways to stop the president, because everybody's complaining about the president breaking the rules and doing stuff he shouldn't do. There's two things that Congress can do. There's only two. Well, there's more, but there's two main things they can do. One is cut off the money. That's their job, is appropriations. That's what they do. That's what the House of Representatives' main job is appropriating funds. They can cut off money. And number two, they can start impeachment proceedings. Now, I understand that both of those have flaws. Both of them are politically dangerous, and both of them are create risk.
Well, it's sad that the people in power are worried more about the flaws in those two remedies than they are about the effect of having a president that just does whatever he wants.
Right, because
and sticks his boot on our throat and grinds us into the dirt. That's okay, but the flaws in the remedy that Congress has are much more important than the jackbooted oppression that we're getting out of the administration.
What they've effectively done, what Congress has done, the Republican-led Congress that everybody's so excited about having in Washington.
No, wait a second. There was one person in this room that was not excited in 2010. Man, what did I say? What did I tell you on that night when everybody was having a party and throwing confetti and eating desserts? What did I tell you?
They're going to sell us out.
Yep.
So, basically, being the history geek that I am, I went back and, this
I like that about you.
Yeah, I know you do.
Your history knowledge, I think, is extremely valuable.
Now, there was a similar situation back in England in about 400 or 500 years ago, where Oliver Cromwell was dealing with a parliament that it was not doing their job, and he has this quote, which I thought was very telling. "You have sat too long for any good you have been doing lately. Depart, I say, and let us have done with you. In the name of God, go."
Is that your message to Congress?
Yeah, I mean, basically, I think they should just adjourn. They should adjourn until the elections in November, and then come back in January. Because they're not doing any good anyway.
They're not going to do any good in January. Why have them come back?
Well, they got a chance to fix it. They won't do it, but I mean, I'm just saying adjourn until January. Because, first of all, they can't make any new dumb laws. There won't be any stupid lawsuits from John Boehner that'll be thrown out of court as soon as any judge with any sense looks at it. And lastly, the president's going to borrow the power to do whatever he wants anyway, and Congress won't stop them. So basically, Congress has no power anymore anyway. So just go home. Save the taxpayers the money of traveling back and forth to Washington. Just go home and try to convince all of your constituents that it matters that you get reelected. Because it's not going to matter. It doesn't matter what you do. It doesn't matter who your congressman is right now, because they have no power. They have no authority, because basically they've basically ceded it all to the president and the executive branch. So why bother sending them up? If they're really fiscal conservatives, why not just stay home and save the money for the taxpayers?
Maybe we should have Bob Goodlatte on the radio and ask him why we should bother having him up there at all.
I mean, I don't see any point. I think it's a complete waste of time. We could have more hearings. I mean, we could have more hearings to talk about how we've been lied to, how the administration has cheated the people, how they've broken the law, how they're spying on us.
Half the time, that's not even the hearings they have. They have hearings on whether or not some baseball player shot steroids in his arm.
Yes.
Is that really? I mean,
so they're having hearings about concussions in football. So, for all the good they are doing in Washington, I quote Oliver Cromwell again. "Depart, I say, and let us have done with you. In the name of God, go." I don't see any point to having Congress in session. Just send them home. I mean, they're taking half the year off anyway. Just take the rest of the year. They're going to take a summer break in a couple weeks. Just go and stay. Just stay away. You're not doing any good.
I got another message, not from Joanne this time, that says, "Calm the HE double hockey sticks down."
Wow. Is that for me or for you?
It was for me, I'm sure.
Oh, good. Because I haven't got a calm down one yet, I think. Let's see if I got a calm down message. Oh, I got 3 messages. Let's see here. No, 2 of them aren't related to the show. Al Bedrosian texted me. The door's locked. Al's here. I'm going to go let Al Bedrosian in because he's locked out.
All right, well, we've got basically 58 seconds left. So while Chip unlocks the door, I will... what was that, Barack? I didn't hear you the first time. What was that? What was that, Governor McAuliffe? I didn't hear you the first time. What was that, Attorney General Mark Herring? I didn't hear you the first time. What I'm not hearing you clearly. Oh, I get it, Chip. It's "we will respect their authority."
Oh, good.
Good morning.
Al's here.
Al's here. We have basically, I don't know, 14 seconds before the music starts playing.
I promise we didn't lock Alan on purpose.
No, I locked the door. But I wasn't thinking about, I was thinking about, you know, we're down here in this hole. Who knows what kind of criminal might, you know, wander through here and break into the radio station while we're here. And, well, I guess I was right. I'm just kidding.
Wow.
I'm just kidding. All right. We'll take a break. I'll drink some water.
Calm the HE double hockey sticks down.
Maybe. We'll see what happens. Meet us on the other side. We'll find out.